What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, put it on all, of course, so that you get notified. As soon as we drop new content, you'll be the first to know on that. So without further ado, let's get into this one. So there's been breaking news just released yesterday. All the channels were recording it, were reporting this news. IFL TV, Sky TV, Sky Sports and that. We have Johnny Nelson, Adam Smith. This was all over the map. All the boxing blogs and everything reported this news. And this is one of the most important bits of news in boxing for at least a decade or so. And that is the undisputed world heavyweight title fight has been signed, and that means that all parties involved in this matter, that means Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn, Bob Arum, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, all parties have put pen to paper. So ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we do have a fight. We at least have that agreement. And this is the first step of finally getting through and having the undisputed fight. And this, for me, this is historical. The last sort of undisputed heavyweight champion I can remember is Lennox Lewis back in the days. It got a bit fragmented. I can remember the Klitschko's for after Lewis holding the belts, and but again, it was dominated by those two brothers. That was sort of the last era that I can recall of it being sort of really sort of undisputed. We knew who the top guy was, and yeah, so that's the last era, the Klitschko brothers era. That's the sort of last era where we said, right, boom, it's these brothers. They reigned for the nine years or whatever it was. But nowadays, obviously, as we know, it's fragmented. Fury won it off of Vladimir Klitschko, but then he went off and he didn't defend the belts, and then he came back, wins back the WBC and won, everything like that. Joshua picks up the rest of the belts, and we've always been wondering, what happens when these guys meet. And this fight has been talked about for a long time. Both Joshua and Fury have been saying sort of opposite things to each other. Joshua very positive about the fight. Tyson Fury has been, even over the past week, been talking about drinking 12 pints of beer, drinking 14 pints of beer, and he could drink all that and still beat AJ. He's been saying, I don't know who I'm fighting next. It could even be Deontay Wilder and stuff like that. He's been playing these games and saying, you're never gonna know if I'm telling the truth or lying, because people don't believe me. Whatever I say, people don't believe me. If I say the truth, they say, nah, you're lying. If I tell a lie, they don't believe that either. So he goes, you lot are never gonna know. He goes, I don't know nothing. My promoter knows, and Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn, those are the guys that know. So Fury's been sending out some funny mixed messages, saying he's not doing anything, he's just chilling at home and blah blah blah. He's just drinking, and it's been funny because in my head I kind of knew there's something iffy about that, because you look at the man, and he looks very trim. He looks to be in some sort of shape. He's never going to be a body beautiful Tyson Fury. He's never going to be sort of ripped or whatever, that sort of size. That's just not his body type, I don't think. But if you looked at, looking at his face, and it looks lean, and you can tell he looks quite trim in what he was wearing in these recent interviews. So I knew he's definitely been doing something. Even if he's not in like a proper camp, he's definitely been doing something. The same with AJ. AJ just looks ripped. He just looks in shape. He's releasing a lot of training videos saying he's the landlord, blah blah blah. So yeah, definitely this is a great moment for our sport. I'm really looking forward to it. I would say though that there's a lot of celebrations about this, but we've still got a little period left where they've got to now decide on, I believe they've got a period of 28 days from as of whenever they sign the contracts. I think yesterday, day before, whenever it was. They've still got another bit of business to do, which is they've got to actually get the site, decide on which site, who's going to actually host it, which territory is going to host it. And once they decide on going with whichever territory, I mean, it looks like, I know we've said this over and over again, but it looks like it's going to be held in the Middle East, somewhere in the Middle East. Could even be a place like Saudi Arabia. There's other places in Asia also competing for this fight, but what, according to Hearn and the other guys, the other promoters, what they're doing now is they've signed it, so they're happy to fight. They're happy to have 2-fight deal. They're going to have 50-50 to the winner of 50-50 split in the first fight. And then whoever wins the first fight gets a 60-40 split in the rematch at some point further down the line. So that's something that's agreed on. But to really have legs on this and really to solidify this, they need the final part, which is actually to decide and secure the site, the stadium, or wherever they're going to have it in, the country and everything. That sort of stuff is still ongoing. So they've got from what I understand, they've got like a 28-day period now, from now till, let's say, a month later, to decide and finalize exactly where this fight is going to take place. And then from the time they decide, right, let's say, I don't know, let's say it's going to take place in Dubai, for instance. I don't know that for any fact, but let's say it's going to take place in Dubai. They've got to say, right, okay, Dubai, we accept your offer. Then it's going to be a case of, right, Dubai's then going to put up the money, or the prince or whoever is going to put up the money for the fight. And then once that's done, once they put up the money, they put up the venue, then we can sort of officially say, right, we've got that. And then they will then announce the date of the fight. Okay, the fight is going to be July 14th or whatever, you know. So we're at a stage now where we can get excited, we can get happy. The fight has been signed, but there is still another step to go in terms of securing the venue, and as Big Shaq likes to say, securing the bag. You know, that's what they got to do. Secure the venue, you know, accept one of their many offers, because there's all these different territories offering to host and to fund this fight and to put up this massive hundreds of $1 million site fee. So they've got to pick one of those, and they've got to pick it rather sharpish. They've got 28 days or whatever. And then once they've done that, we should get a date going forward from there. So it looks like, all things being well, all parties seem to be happy with the splits, which is good, because that can be a headache in boxing. And now I reckon within the next, let's call it the next 4 weeks, or maybe even less, we will get an announcement of where this fight's going to be. We don't really need to know how much they're going to get, but we should, within the next 3-4 weeks, we should get an announcement as to where the venue is going to be, and of course ticket information, because I believe they're going to look to, because even America has been interested in this. I guess some states like Texas, where they've dropped the mask mandate now, somewhere like that, they might be interested in it. It's just the UK is a definite no-no, unfortunately. But I believe they're looking for somewhere where they're going to be able to have a capacity crowd in attendance. So it needs to be somewhere with big space, big stadium or whatever. And yeah, I'm not too sure who's going to host it, but at least the main thing is we've got the fight signed, and within the next month we should know where it's going to be held. I'm sure they're going to release ticket information and everything. And yeah, all of us fight fans that have been looking for the Undisputed heavyweight title fight will now be put out of our misery. Now we'll get exactly what we want. And it's been a long time coming. And I think this is a thing that will be great for boxing, because when the heavyweight division is flying, when it's doing well, when we get an undisputed fight, it oftentimes inspires the lighter weight divisions. It might inspire some of these other guys, you know, the welterweights, Crawford, Spence, you know, maybe they might think, well, you know what, the big heavyweights have got in the ring, we need to get in the ring now too. Hopefully it will inspire even the other divisions, all these guys that are world class and not fighting each other. Hopefully they'll get it on now, they'll get inspired by this one. So yeah, definitely fantastic news. I'm looking forward to this fight, Fury versus Joshua, or Joshua versus Fury. Let me know who you're picking in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about this. I'm elated, I'm excited, can't wait to see him get it on. And ladies and gents, this is MKO Pugilism, over and out. Catch you on the next one.